Hi everybody and welcome to the Pour Parler Stories. The Pour Parler is my little talk show and today I made a good DJ. That name is Ricky Morrison. Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you for it.
No problem.
Welcome. Don't you worry.
Salute.
Okay, let's start with where are you born, where do you live, how many years have you got, and from when you is Ricky Morrison DJ?
When?
From
Wow. Well, I was born in London, England. My parents are Jamaican. I am years old.
Oh, okay.
Basically, I started DJing from like 1982, 83. I used to do a lot of street parties. We used to find an empty house. We would go into the house, put our own speakers in the house. Then we go to a shop to make some flyers, give them out in the street, and then we have the party on Saturday and Sunday, and then take the speakers out of the house and go to the next location.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Okay, I ask you one thing. What do you think about the music culture of disco on the UK?
In the UK?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very good, but unfortunately, in England, the music has to be categorized. It has to have a name of the music. It has to be house or deep house or UK garage. So if it is not in that category, people don't want to know the music. They're not interested. If it is something obscure or something really nice, maybe a mixture of different styles of music, people don't want to know. It has to be this or this or this. That's the bad thing about the UK. It has to have a categorization for the music. And then people say, I like this house, I like this. But when you say, I like all styles, people are like, you have to like one thing.
There is many choice for the people of music.
Yeah, there are many different styles of music there, but unfortunately everyone has to be categorized, so it's just there's no individuality. It's like the sheep are following everything.
MOS, Ministry of Sound rules. How much it's important for a DJ play here?
A ministry?
Yeah.
Well, many years ago, when it opened in 1991, I was very fortunate to be one of the first DJs to play there, and it was a very important club. It was to emulate the same club in New York called the Paradise Garage. They created the sound system, the exact dimensions of the club in America. So, and it was because the Garage Club itself is an institution. It's the reason why I'm talking to you now. You know, it was Ministry of Sound was a very important club to play at because of the specific elements that made the club as it is. But now, in my opinion, it's not as important as it was.
I ask you one thing.
Yes.
Can you see if this one is green?
Okay.
Excuse me, people.
It's green.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Okay. Do you think that the DJ have to be like a ministry of fun?
The DJ?
Yeah.
Yeah, DJ is an entertainer. He has to entertain the crowd. So he has to be able to play the music in the right way to create an atmosphere. You know, a DJ, you're meant to create moods, you know, up and down, left and right, feeling happy or sad, you know. it's important for a DJ to have that skill. You know, a lot of the young DJs now, they just have the CDs, they're just playing, you know,
simple.
And then I'm old school. I like to create a feeling.
We talk after about old school. Wait. The start of your work since 1984. I know, I have read.
Oh. Don't believe everything you read.
Excuse me. Are you happy to have listened the changement of music style or other things on the years from many years ago to
Do
now?
I like the styles now? Do you mean what do I?
Are you happy to have listened the change of the music?
Yes. I'm. Yeah. But everything is like a circle. Like in the 80s, it was very soul, funk, jazz. But what happens is, in English, the word is cyclic. It's never something new. It always comes back. Like now, there is a big resurgence of the music from the 90s. You know, all the good house music from the 90s. You know, so I think I'm very happy that the music is changing, but it's always from the same theme. Do you understand what I mean?
Yeah.
It's always the same basic elements.
Do you think that the music return?
Music?
The sound?
I hope so. It's important because if you can't, you know, music is a feeling. You know, it's a feeling. It's an emotion, and a lot of the clubs these days are playing the music. Unfortunately, it's very drug orientated or very event orientated, where there's just a lot of people and it's a sound. It's not an emotion, you know.
How much it's important the sound, the power of the sound.
Yeah, it's very important.
Important.
Yeah, many years ago it's very important because you hear different parts of the record in the sound. I remember when I was playing in Austria, Vienna, and it was a very, very old club, really old sound system. And I was playing, at that time I was playing CD and vinyl. I was in a transitionary period. And I played a CD, which is digital, and the sound system sounded very bad, really very linear, very no emotion. Then I put a disco record on the same system, and the club was just like, it was like a breath of fresh air. You can hear all the triangles and the drums and the live bass, because that system was designed for the analog
music
way, you know. So yeah, I mean, it's important.
For you today, how much we are full of technology of making of this in the music? For you, for your things, how much we are full of technology?
Yeah, I mean, I've been making records for a very, very long time, and the technology now is very easy to make a record, because now you have instead of you having like a keyboard, you can have a thing called a plugin which emulates the sounds of the keyboard in your computer. And a lot of producers now are working from a laptop with the
simple.
Yeah, very, very simple. I mean, that is technology. You have to move with the times, you know. You have to move with the times. That's one of those things.
Do you like the concept of old school music?
Do I like the concept of old school music?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the concept, but
because many years ago, with my friends. We talk about music. Okay, man, I play old school music. I don't know if you can understand.
Yeah, I understand.
Okay.
I like old school music, but I wouldn't like to be categorized as playing old school music. I like to play old school music, but you have to be very careful when you start playing that all the time. People think that's all you can play. And there are, as you know, there are so many beautiful records out there at the moment, new records, which should be heard, you know. So it's nice to have a mixture of old school and new school. But I think old school is good, but you have to embrace the new stuff as well that's coming out.
You have to
which is
increase.
just as good, yeah. But it's also important not to forget where it all came from, you know, the old school stuff.
Catch a Groove Records.
Yeah.
It was a shop of you to introduce the American sound.
Yeah.
Can you
true.
speak me about this? Can you talk me?
Yeah, basically the record shop was from the love of myself, a friend of mine called Abby Shah, who used to work at a record shop called Bluebird Records in the early 80s. I mean 1981, 82. And I used to go there every week. I used to spend all my money on these records. I mean, God. And then I was...
Like dependence, how can I say, dependent of... dependent, I understand. When the people don't have to live for
records.
For their records.
I had to have every week. I was very lucky because my cousin lived in New York, and he used to tape all the mix shows in New York. Timmy Regisford, Merlin Bob, Tony Humphries on Kiss. I used to get the cassettes sent to me. Then I used to listen to the cassettes, then take them into the shop and say, "Have you got this record? Have you got this record?" And Abby was,
Shazam.
yeah, now you have Shazam. Now I had a cassette, you know. And I used to go to the shop and buy these records, which no one else was buying. I was just into the New York sound, the funk and soul and disco. And then he gave me a Saturday job to work on Saturdays in the shop. But the owner of the shop wasn't very interested in the music. He just wanted the money. So me and Abby, another friend of mine, David, we decided to do a shop ourselves. And at that time, I was a computer engineer.
Yeah.
And then I decided to stop the computers and put all my money into the record shop, Catch a Groove. And it was very, very successful. We did very, very well, you know, and we made a lot of people happy from selling their records, because they used to come to the shop and we used to introduce them to new records. They liked how they would buy their records and then they would say, "Well, Ricky, what else do you have?" I go, "Oh, have you heard this?" And they go,
Do you like play vinyl?
I love playing vinyl, yeah. I'd love to play vinyl all the time, but unfortunately, all the clubs that I play now, they've moved to the digital age, you know, with the CDs. Some people have the stick. I've been to clubs where, I've been to clubs where a DJ logs onto his server and downloads the records into the console and plays them. What can you do?
Okay.